Surprise, I'm back. And this is a bonus sequence. And I just thought I wanted to throw this in because all of this 30 days of Activate Your Asana is not totally how I would, be doing it in class. So I'm kind of giving you little things to drop into your class, but what does that look like as we flow through a class? So I'll give you a little bit of taste of that now. All right, so I hope you're on your mat, and we're going to stand at the front of the mat and organize and activate, okay? So, not really context setting or anything like that, but we are going to move with our breath. We're going to organize and activate. We're going to use our fascial lines, and we're going to build our stability, strength, and mobility, okay? Hope you enjoy. So we place our feet parallel. They can be together or apart. Unlock your knees, feel your sliding surfaces. And now ground down into your feet and energize like you're dialing your feet and knees away from each other so you can activate your thighs and your seat and your deep front line. If you like, you can squeeze your heels towards each other, any other activation that really helps you turn it all on. All right, let's put hands in Namaskar Mudra and start Ujjayi breathing. Okay, so feel your feet, feel the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the pericardium, throat, crown of the head. You can close your eyes if you like. And you're funneling the breath through Mula Bandha and through the center of the body. Let's begin. Inhale, arms to the sides and overhead. Exhale, dive your body forward and down. Staying in forward fold for a moment, energize down into your feet like you're dialing the knees away from each other. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up to half lift. And we'll hold right here for a few breaths. So pressing down into the feet, we're dialing the feet and knees away from each other. Point back through the tail of the body and through the crown of the head. Just feel. One more breath here. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, press down into your feet, slight bend of the knees. Send your heart forward. Let's come all the way up. Reach through your fingers, look up, lean back. And let's take the hands to the back of the head. Press down into your feet. Make sure your knees are not locking because it's so common. All right, unlock your knees and now energize through your legs like you're dialing them away from each other. Start to feel into the pubic bone, the low belly, the heart. Remember your front body line, your superficial front line connects pubic bone to breastbone, so engage there. As you lean back, press your head into your hands and let your back body awaken. Superficial back line. Let's take one more breath. Flare your elbows out a little bit more, and let's just tip the body over to the right side. Press down into your right foot and your left foot, and press up through your left elbow. Continue to press your head into your hands and contain the front body from pubic bone to breastbone. Of course, your legs are still activated. Keep pressing down into your left foot, engaging the lateral line. All right, let's come up to center. Take a moment, look up, lean back, and then just tip the body slightly over to the left side. Now press down into the right foot, up through the elbow of your right arm. Continue to press the head into the hands and dial your knees away from each other. Good. Contain the front body, pubic bone to breastbone. And one more big deep breath here. Inhale, let's come up. This time we'll reach up with our hands. Reach up, straighten the arms, reach with the fingers. Exhale, dive your body forward and down. Inhale, let's take a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your feet back to upper push-up position. All right, press down into your hands, energize like you're dialing your hands away from each other, getting the shoulders nice and stable. Press into the toes, great toe especially, and then press so that you light up your superficial front lines in the legs and the deep front line. So even here, without moving anything, you can imagine that you're dialing the feet away from each other and squeezing the heels towards each other. Good. Hand to core and foot to core. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Let's bring the knees down. Send your gaze forward a little bit as you dial your hands away from each other. Lower the chest about halfway, and then press it back up. So we're using the belly here, so lower about halfway, dial your hands away from each other, contain the belly, and now lift the belly to come up. One more time, about halfway, and then lift the belly to come up. Tuck your toes, press back, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, upper push-up position. Exhale, knees to the mat, dial hands away from each other. Heart is reaching forward. Belly is engaged. Let's turn the heart up for cobra pose. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths, pressing down into the top surfaces of your feet. Now, your pubic bone is reaching downward. Pull your belly upward. Lift your belly up. You can feel an extension of your diaphragm here. Lift the heart, lift the crown of the head. One more big breath here. Beautiful. Let's tuck back, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's step the right foot forward. Allow left knee to come down. Sink your right foot, tug it back toward your body, and then strongly tuck left toes toward left knee. Now you're feeling like you're pulling both legs into the pelvis. You might feel a fairly strong sensation, the front of your left hip. That's great. You're lighting up your fascial lines. And now we'll continue with that by bringing the hands up. Let's actually steeple the hands and fingers. Pull the front leg back, drag the back leg forward, and then as the energy merges at the pelvis, pull it up the center of the body. Okay, let's contain the front body as we slide our gaze up the wall toward the ceiling, pubic bone to breastbone. You can feel your back body here. You're using your superficial back line to have this upright posture, but we're pulling the superficial front line into the back line for support. One more big breath here. All right, let's bring the hands down. Inhale, lift the back knee, and just really engage your toes into the mat. Bring your right knee right over your right ankle. Press down into the right foot and dial your right knee out a little bit so that you can keep the hip tucked back. Now start to really push into the left toes. Gather that into the belly. And then see if it makes sense in your body to reach the hands forward. Press into your feet more. Remember the law of irradiation. You're pushing into your feet, spreading your fingers wide. Active body, active breath. One more breath. And let's bring the hands down. Let's step the foot back to upper push-up position. Lower the knees. And now lower the chest through chaturanga. Press into the palms, inhale, lift the heart. We're dialing the hands away from each other. Tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps through. Right knee comes down. You can bring your torso up. Sink your left foot, tug it back towards your body, and then strongly tuck right toes toward right knee. Pull the legs into the pelvis. All right, inhale, bring the arms up. Let's steeple the fingers. When we lace the fingers like this, we're pulling apart, okay? We're energizing through the arms like we're pulling the fingers apart. The legs are gathering in, dragging in, if you want to think of it that way. Pull the energy up the center of the body, pull the hands apart. Now, if you want, you can lean back a little bit more, contain the front body. Really good. Let's bring the hands to the mat. Inhale, lift the back knee. Press straight down into your left foot. Make sure the knee is right over the ankle. And then find the toes of your left foot. Press into the toes. So now as you push down into your left foot and into the right toes, gather that energy up into the belly. Now the way you gather the energy is by pushing down more. So push down more. You're going to find that that does come into the belly. Then it's actually quite a bit easier to lift the arms. If it's hard to lift the arms, you need to push down more. Good, let's have one more breath here, guys. And let's bring the hands to the mat. Let's step back. Let's take it into table pose. Tuck your toes right under. Press into the palms and energize like you're dialing the hands away from each other. Beautiful. And then we'll lift up. So the knees are going to hover. Beautiful. And so now let's play around a bit. We're going to keep the right foot on the ground, push it down so that you can take the left foot off. Bring the left thigh under the body and then reach out with the leg. Bring it under the body and then reach it out. We're dialing the hands away from each other, pushing down into the toes, gathering hands to core, foot to core. Very nice. Last time, reach it out and then bring the foot down. Bring the knees down just for a moment. Let's take a breath together. Tucking the toes. Let's lift the knees just above the mat. It's totally fine if you have to bring a knee down. Don't worry about that at all. All right, let's take the weight off of the right. Bring the thigh under the body. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach it out. Once more, exhale. Inhale, and bring the foot down. Knees come down too. And let's just sit back for child's pose for a moment. So in child's pose, let's come up onto tented fingers and actually pull the hands toward the body. Very nice. Let's plant the palms and we'll take downward facing dog. Beautiful. So in downward facing dog, we're pressing down into the palms and energizing like we're dialing the hands away from each other. And then we're pushing the palms to the front of the mat. Very nice. Let's take one more deep breath here. Stand on your left foot, send your right foot up. Okay, so this is a case where your grounded foot needs to dial out, knee dials out too. Your lifted leg needs to dial in and press the back of your leg up to the sky. So here you can feel on your lifted leg, the superficial back line. On your grounded leg, you're feeling, because you're dialing out, your lateral line and your spiral line, but also your deep front line. One more big breath here, and we'll switch the feet. Once again, your standing leg needs to organize and activate. Whether your heel is down or not, doesn't matter. You're still grounding into the toes and the toe pads, dialing out through that leg while your lifted leg spins in and down. Push your hands to the front of the mat. Let's take one more big breath here. Yes, and bring the foot down. Very nice. Let's walk the feet up to the hands. Coming into a nice deep forward fold. Let's wiggle the feet apart. Arms come around the back of the legs. Keep the knees bent and dial your knees into your arms. So it's kind of like you're pressing your knees apart. So feet need to be always a little closer together than the knees. And then dial the knees into the arms. Beautiful. Keep pressing down into the feet. One more big breath here. Wonderful. Let the arms dangle. And let's slowly bring the body up to full standing. Beautiful. All right, let's have hands in Namaskar Mudra. Feet a little bit apart, and then we'll sink the hips for a chair pose. Okay, so it's so common in chair pose for people's feet to turn out. So it's always good to just check, see what happened. You don't want to be doing chair pose like this or like this, worse yet. Okay, very collapsed position. You want to ground through your great toe and dial the knees away from each other. Beautiful. So make sure your hips are reaching back. Now push down into your right foot and pick up your left foot. Gather through the belly and step your left foot back. Left elbow comes across right thigh. Push down into your right foot and dial your right knee out, and then push through the toes of your left foot. Spin your shoulder back. And breathe. So you're feeling here the tensioning of your spiral lines, but also your deep front line as you intensify your breath here. Ujjayi breath. Let's keep the pressure into the right leg, and we'll step the back leg forward. Inhale, let's come all the way up, reach through your fingers. Exhale, bring it down to chair pose. Standing on your left foot now, weight goes off the right, stay connected, and step your foot back. Elbows goes across. Press the knee into the arm, and let your left shoulder move back. Remember to place your gaze either straight forward or turn the gaze upward so that the body naturally follows. Good. One more big deep breath here. Press into your toes. Very nice, you guys. Now we really want to load this left leg, gather your belly, and step your foot forward. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Reach through your fingers. And exhale, hands can come behind you. Let's lace the fingers behind the body. And when we do this, we're keeping the chest open and we're pulling the fingers apart. So we're active like we're pulling the fingers apart. Okay, little bend in the knees. We'll keep your heart lifted and ground into your right foot. Take your left foot back. So now we're just experimenting, pulling the fingers apart. You may decide to tip forward a little. You may decide to tip forward a little bit more. So go wherever it feels like your body is receptive. Pushing the floor away from you, dialing the knee out. Your lifted leg is spinning inward. One more big breath here. And let's tip the body back up and stand down. Let's release the hands, shake it out. All right, hands come back together. Energize like you're pulling the fingers apart, chest stays open, little bend of the knees. We're shifting our weight into our left foot now, toe back with the right. Remember, your standing leg has to dial outward. All right, let's lift. So you can feel your superficial back line on the lifted leg. And if you keep your head in alignment with just a subtle chin tuck, reaching through the crown of the head, you'll be able to use your superficial back line for this balance. Remember to continue to spin your lifted leg inward and down. Very nice. Let's slowly bring our bodies up. Very nice. And we'll shake it out. Let's pick up our blocks now. We'll put the block between the lower legs. Okay, I really love this pose. Foot function is super important for full body function, actually, and for pelvic floor function. So we want to wiggle the feet as close together as they can possibly be for this. And lift and spread your toes and root down. Now bend your knees. And now you're really activating like you're squeezing the heels together, okay? So squeeze the heels together, and then you're just going to practice coming up and down. When you squeeze your heels together, you're really activating the arch of the foot, and that's part of the deep front line. So up and down you go a few times. So now let's just pick a level that we can sustain. If this is new to you, you're really squeezing the block and trying to find the heel activation here, heels towards each other. Activate your whole inseam. All right, let's try bending the knees and the hips. Keep squeezing the heels towards each other. Squeeze the block. Squeeze the block. Lift the heels. You know, as best you can. You're teaching your body something and you're strengthening your tissue. Strengthening your deep front line, actually. See if you can feel your foot to core connection here. Very nice. Let's slowly let the heels come down. Keep squeezing the block. Take forward fold and see if you can lift your toes. Okay, lift your toes away from the mat. Beautiful, but keep squeezing the block as you forward fold. Nice breath. All right, let's soften the toes. You can put the block to the left-hand corner of your mat. Okay, and make sure it's on the mat rather than the floor. I can't guarantee the floor won't slide. All right, so let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, let's come up to about a half lift position and put your left hand on the block at whatever level you want to experiment with. And then we're going to stand on the left foot, right leg goes up. So first of all, let's keep square to the mat. That means your right leg is going to spin inward. Press into your standing leg. Now we're just going to do a little exercise of bending and straightening. As you bend and straighten, you're dialing the knee out. Very good. Now straighten and hold. Push the floor away from you. If you want, you can open your hips. If you're doing that, I recommend lifting the leg more so that you can really access the strength of your lateral lines here. Press that leg up. If you want, the arm can go up. And, we're going to stay here a little bit longer so that we're building strength. We're building strength in the breath, building strength in the nervous system, in the muscular system, and the connective tissues. One more big deep breath here. Feels so good. And let's bring the hand down. Foot can follow. And you can switch the block. Let's take it all the way up. Shake that off. Nice deep breath in. Press your palms to the sky. And let's take it all the way down. Come up to half lift position. Right hand on the block. Standing on your left leg, your right leg, your right leg. You can just have your left hand to your hip. So first of all, we're squaring to the mat. Pelvis is parallel. And your lifted leg is spinning in. Okay, let's bend and straighten that standing leg a few times, just to show that we can. Dial your knee out, then hold it steady, and then see about opening up. You're turning your pelvis to the long side of the mat. And if you want, you can lift that leg a little higher. That actually helps balance and helps you access your lateral lines. Lift the hand. Enjoy your breath. One more deep one. And one more after that. Take your hand down and bring the foot down too. All right, let's come all the way up. Reach, look up, lean back. And exhale all the way down. Hands on the mat, step back to upper push-up position. Dial your hands away from each other. Let's rock over onto the outside of your right foot and reach your left hand up. Remember, you have an option to bring the right knee down or step the left foot down or stack the knees. Okay, any way you want to do it. Press into your hand. Remember, you're a floor hand, dialing outward. Carry that energy up through the body. And let's bring the hand down and find your plank pose for a moment. Toes press. Pull that up into a hollow body. Rock over onto the other side. Remember, you have options. Reach your hand up. Lift your hips up. Dial your hand away externally on the mat. All right, let's bring it down. And now let's bring the knees down and lay the belly on the mat. Bend your knees. Swim your arms back for airplane tail pose. So hands reach, but they don't connect. Press the soles of your feet up to the sky. One more breath, guys. And let's bring it all down. Forehead on stacked hands. Wave your feet from side to side. Beautiful. All right, let's stretch the arms in front of us. Keep the pubic bone rooting. And we're going to lift the right hand and the left foot. Okay, so make a connection across the back body from your shoulder, right shoulder to your left hip. You're pressing down into your left hand and your right foot. Press down. Other side is lifting. So we're confusing the nervous system. This is very stimulating, really, really good for nervous system and proprioception. Press down and lift up. Really good. Let's take it down. Just take one breath. And we'll go to the other side. So now we'll lift the left hand and the right leg. Other side is participating as well. So right hand presses down, left foot presses down, and breathe. One more breath, guys. And let's release. Forehead on stacked hands, bend the knees, wave your feet from side to side. Let's allow the legs to go back to the mat, and we'll come up onto our forearms. Press down into your palms. And now let's give attention to the feet first. We'll start building from there. So press down into the top surfaces of your feet. You'll notice if you press down into your feet, it's more natural for your belly to lift a little bit. Can you notice that? Okay, so let's use that. That's the superficial front line. Pubic bone roots, keep your belly lifted. Now, from there, lift your heart up. Press into your palms. Get your spine, your torso up high while your shoulders stay down. And now pull your hands toward your body a little bit as you keep the belly lifting from the pubic bone. Firm the body, press into your feet more. One more breath here. Press, press, press. And let's allow that to soften. So actually, let's put the right forearm in front of the body, bend the left knee, and reach around and catch hold of left foot. Let's keep this really relaxed. And then we're going to push the foot into the hand. So pushing left foot into left hand. Keep the front of the hip open. One more breath. Push, push, push. And now let it go. Slide the left forearm in front, bend the right knee, reach back, catch hold of instep or ankle. So notice I'm not pulling this into my seat as far as I can. I'm just keeping it a comfortable distance. But then I'm going to push my foot into my hand so that I feel my superficial front line activating. That would be my quads. Really great. And let's release that. So just bring it down for a moment. Gather your breath. Bend the knees. Swim your arms back, catching hold of insteps or ankles. You can stay right there if you like, or you can lift the chest a bit more. Press the feet into the hands and allow the thighs to come up. Use your gaze to help you, so let your gaze slide forward and up slightly. And one more deep breath here. And soften it all down. Hands beside the chest now. Dial your hands away from each other as you press back. Child's pose. This time, plant your palms and kind of push your palms toward the front of the mat as you take child's pose. You can even lift your belly inside just a little bit. Beautiful. All right, let's tuck the toes, plant the palms, downward facing dog. Coming up onto your toes, let's hop through to seated. Okay, so let's use our block. We're putting it between the legs, which is weird. But we're activating the deep front line. And some of the structures of the deep front line are hip flexors. So this actually helps us with our forward fold without pushing us into it. Okay, we're going to squeeze the block between the lower legs. Inhale. Exhale, please dig your heels in. Pull your heels toward the body as you come forward. Let's not have a goal of being pancake flat. You're just going to squeeze the block here, dig your heels in and squeeze the block, and just see where the forward fold takes you. Beautiful. Then let your body rock back, align the spine, take the block with you, boat pose. Hands can come behind the knees if you like. This can sometimes help you get organized, but then you're going to just let go if you want. Squeeze the great toe edges of your feet together, squeeze the block. We want the deep front line active here, and then lift up from pubic bone to breastbone. You're lifting. Beautiful. One more deep breath here. Lovely. And let's bring the feet down. Let's just move the block up between the knees or just above the knees if you want. And let's take bridge pose. Ooh. All right, so you can plant the feet so that the knees are comfortably bent. And remember, you can change your position at any time. But I'm not insisting that your heels are close enough for your fingers to touch or anything like that, okay? Just get yourself comfortable. Feet are parallel, and we need the feet closer together than the knees, okay? So wiggle your feet closer together if you need. Okay, feet are parallel, and you're squeezing the block, and you're also dialing the feet and knees away from each other, and then you can lift your pelvis up more. Then I would also recommend pushing your feet to the front of the mat. So just a little squeeze of the block, dial your feet and knees away from each other, lift the pelvis, and breathe. Lovely. One more big breath here, guys. Let's bring the body back down. Take the block and slide it under your sacrum. Let's bring the legs straight up in the air. Hands can be, kind of just off to the side slightly or in any position that feels like they can help you stabilize, okay? Arms are going to help you stabilize. All right, great toe edges together. So let's see if we can feel the inseams are active. Inseams of the legs to pelvic floor and lower belly. Now hold pelvic floor and lower belly. Inhale. You might actually, let's just be sure, and we kind of pull the navel in a little bit, so we're a little tiny bit posteriorly tilted, okay? Inhale, and now lower your legs just a little bit, keeping your pelvis exactly as it is. There's no movement there. And then let's bring it up. So really gonna challenge pelvic floor and pelvic muscles. Lower, now let's bring it up. Lower. Keep your toes active. You see, toes pulling towards your knees can keep your superficial front line more active. Very good. Remember, pubic bone to breastbone activation of your superficial front line is going to help keep your front body contained. Okay, let's just do one more. Find a place where you can sustain for a couple of breaths and breathe. All right, maintain your pelvic position. One more deep breath, guys. Really good. Let's bend the knees, step one, and then the other foot down. Beautiful. Plant your feet. Feet are parallel. Press down into your feet. Energize like you're dialing the feet and knees away from each other, and lift your body off the block. Squeeze. You might, again, push your feet to the front of the mat. And one more big deep breath, guys. And you can move the block. We're just going to lie the pelvic bones or the pelvis back down. Bring the knees into the chest and rock your body from side to side. Great. Allow your knees to fall over to the left side. Stretching your arms out. So hopefully everybody has the left side on the same side. Let your knees and feet rest down. You could even put your right hand on top of your left knee if that feels good, and drop your right shoulder blade back. It's good to look along your outstretched right arm so that your entire spine is in the same spiral. Let's just breathe. All right. So we're just winding down here, just a gentle little exploratory random practice. So hopefully you enjoyed that. You can also check out the other videos that I have in the course that are full class sequences, of course. but I just wanted to throw that bonus in for you so you can enjoy yourselves a little bit. All right, hope you enjoyed the 30 days to activate your asana. Hope you got lots of useful things for your classes, and hopefully that gave you some new inspiration. I wish you well, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.